Hey guys, hope you're doing well. It is midnight on Monday into Tuesday morning. I just graded second period's Cold War DBQs, even wore my AP reading shirt from the last time I went a couple of years ago. Second period's DBQs were okay. A couple of rewrites in the pile, but most people in the 4 and 5 range had a couple of 6s and even a 7 in there. But all of the essays, even a lot of the good ones, are making the same mistakes over and over again. And the AP exam is 5 weeks off, so we need to address some of those issues. And this video will be going over how to avoid some of those bear traps. First, please do not just use the documents in order. There were many DBQs this time around that just had the documents in exact order: document 1, document 2, document 3, 4, 5, 6, and they attempted some analysis and all of that, but that's not the best way to go. The reader is going to get the impression at the reading, if you do that on the exam, that you're just laundry listing the documents and you're not going to get the credit for analysis that you ought to be getting. So I know the documents in this DBQ went chronologically, but a lot of times they won't. And you need to find a way to group the documents beyond just this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. So, whether you do causes first, then consequences second in the context of this DBQ, or if you say, causes by the government and then causes by the media, however you do it, you need to figure out a way to put the documents together so that you're not just listing them in order with virtually no analysis in there. Okay, so that's the first thing. Shake it up a bit. Find a somewhat creative but plausible way to group the documents that's going to help you answer the question in an analytical way. Second of all, analyze the documents, don't just summarize them. They're not the same thing. And I'm getting the impression from a lot of your essays that you are equating the two, and you need to stop doing that. A lot of you understand the documents perfectly well. You understand what the person is saying, or what the picture is showing, or what the graph is indicating, or whatever. What you need to do is analyze the documents in one of the 4 ways they give you on the DBQ. That is intended audience. Okay, so who are they addressing this to, and how does that affect what they say or what the chart says or whatever. Purpose, what was the purpose? Is it trying to get people riled up? Is it trying to rally people to support somebody or something? Historical context, that's the easiest one. You talk about what's going on at that time that affected what was said. Or point of view, if there's like a bias present, for instance. Document 2, John Foster Dulles is real big into containment, so he's obviously, going to have his opinion or what he said affected by the fact that he's a very conservative, communist-hunting diplomat in the United States government. So that's something else you need to do. Third, you need to use the whole time period. The time period in this DBQ was 1948 to 1961. The earliest any of the documents is listed on here, I'm pretty sure, is 1954. Yeah. That means you're going to have to dig into the outside information well and come up with something from earlier in that time period. And there's plenty of stuff you could have done for causes of Cold War hysteria before 1954. The Soviets getting the bomb, which some of you did mention, the fall of China and North Korea to communism, that could have been mentioned. HUAC and the blacklist and the Hollywood 10 and the fear of communist subversion, all that was before 1954. So you need to be able to use the entire time period or the entire era, whatever they give you on the exam, and don't just pigeonhole yourself into part of it. Which, if you're using just the documents, you cut out 6 years of the time period. Okay, so try to avoid that. 4, use outside information, and it's okay to name drop stuff. That's going to show the reader that you know something. And a lot of people are missing plum opportunities to put stuff into their essays. For instance, document 1. That was the Eisenhower press conference. He starts talking about we fear depression, we fear the loss of jobs. All of these, with their impact on the human mind, make us act almost hysterically. Where does he say? Oh, here it is. We are fearing what unwise investigators will do to us here at home as they try to combat subversion. He's talking about McCarthy, right? 1954, communist investigations, anti-communist investigations into subversion. That's clearly talking about the McCarthy hearings, all right? And a lot of you sort of like alluded to it, and you talk about investigations, and you just dance and dance and dance and pussyfoot around, and you don't say McCarthy. And you need to, okay? That's going to show, one, that you understand that McCarthy was around at that time, and Eisenhower was somewhat against him. And that's also contextualization. You even get points for analysis if you do that. It's a win-win. You need to do that. Another example, Document 2, the John Foster Dulles speech we just mentioned a second ago. Talks about the situation in Guatemala had become so dangerous that American states could not ignore it, blah, 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 blah. He's talking about CIA covert actions in places like Guatemala. And if you wanted outside information there, you can also mention Iran. Contextualization. Yay! You did it again. So you need to work on putting those things in. And that's where studying is going to help. I mean, they give you the documents, right? Those are going to jog your memory on some stuff, but you've got to know, stuff that went on during that time period so that you can put it into the appropriate spot when you get the opportunity. Okay, so the good news is that none of you are terrible at this, okay? Some of you are not really where you want to be yet. Some of you are great at it, but we've got time to improve. So we're going to keep working on the DBQs in your AMSCO book, and we're going to keep doing practice ones. You're going to do at least 2 more before the exam. All right, so I'm going to do my darndest to make sure you get better at this. So keep working at it. If you have a rewrite, come see me. I strongly encourage you to do that. We can talk about what was wrong, and we can make it better. All right, so look forward to talking to you if you got to do another DBQ. And good luck writing in the future. Have a good one.